Okay, here's a typical elevation of a case. I'm going to turn off the dimensions. What we've got is all the parts. I'm going to turn on the label so you can tell what I'm talking about. There's the kick at the bottom, outlined in green. There's the base, which is the main cabinet, and then there's a riser where the art form, where the art piece is going to be located. There's a vitrine, which is made out of glass, and a light box. And some of those, the light box and the riser and the kick, are optional. So now I'm going to open up another example. This is more complicated. There's the base in this case has molding around the outside, which could be done actually with the extrude along path, the way we did for the crown molding. And there's a quite a more complicated riser as well. And the drawing next to it is actually a section that has been detailed from the extrude along path that was created here. There's quite a range of possibilities for cases. Here's another type of case. It's much simpler for that we use for the project. This case has essentially the vitrine and the base, and that's it. So you can see there's quite a bit. What we're going to be doing is the first case that I showed you. So I'll close this file, and I'll turn off the labels now, and we'll turn on some dimensions so we can take a look. I'm going to start with the base, and in plan view this would be 3 foot square, and then I'm going to add the kick in a second. So here I've double clicked on the rectangle tool, and I'm going to type in the values, and I'm using the position at next click turned off, which means that it's going to be inserted, the rectangle is inserted at the 0, 0 point. Now I'm going to create an extrude using the extrude command, and this is, I'm going to type in the height of the extrude, which is 3 foot 3, and click OK. And let's look at this in 3D using the flyover tool, clicking first to get that rotation point. You can see I've got basically a rectangle there, or a cube. And I'm going to go back to the top plan. Very important to always go back to the top plan whenever you're converting 2D to 3D. Now I'm going to use the rectangle tool again to create the rectangle for the kick. I'm going to make it slightly smaller using the expression command. So what I'm doing here is subtracting the value from the width and the height, so that I can make a slightly smaller rectangle. And then I'm going to again use the model extrude along path command, extrude command, and I'm going to just extrude this to the regular 3 inches for the kick. And then when I look at it in 3D, you're going to see that it comes in at the ground plane level. The bottom is going to be level with the original cube, so I have to raise up the original cube by selecting it. And I'm going to go to modify move 3D, and use the Z value to take it up off the ground exactly 3 inches. And so now you can see that it's popped up a little bit, and I'm going to render that real quick so that I can take a look at it and admire it in 3D. That's what I got so far. And now it's time to go back to the top plan view again. We're going to go for the rectangle tool, and this time we're working up our way up, and we're going to make the riser. And the riser is going to be actually an extrude, a different type of variant of the extrude. It's going to be slightly smaller, 1 inch smaller all around. And the variant is called tapered extrude, and that's going to give us that shape. When I convert this rectangle, choosing the model menu and tapered extrude, and the taper angle is going to be like 10 or 15, and then the height is going to be 5 inches. And click OK, and then there's going to be the result now is going to be that the insertion point is at the bottom again. Now what I have to do is use that move command, modify move 3D, and I'm going to raise it up to the height 3 foot 6 this time, to the height of the top of the base. So you'll see that happen. The reason I'm switching to 3D all the time is so you can see what I'm doing with the move command. You don't have to actually move use the move command in 3D. You can be in top plan and use that move 3D command so you can see it. So that's what we've got so far. So by now you should see that there's a little bit of a pattern here. I make the extrude. I make a 2D rectangle. I make the extrude, and then I move it up into 3D. So so I'm just going to render here a little bit. I'm going to be ready to make the vitrine next. So at some point I'm ready to go to top plan again. And for the vitrine, it's the same exact footprint as the base of the cabinet. So I'm going to type in those same values. Double clicking on the rectangle tool once again. I've got the width and the height. I've got the box position control checked and the position at next click unchecked. And there's my rectangle at the correct size. And now what I want to do is extrude this to the height. It's going to be the height is 3 feet 0. So let me just type the extrude value, clicking OK, and then I'm going to move it up again using the move command. But I'm going to just switch it to the flyover tool so we can see again. You can see it's sitting on the floor, and I'm just going to use the modify move 3D, and I'm going to move it up exactly 3'6", and now it's on top. It's overlapping the vitrine is overlapping the riser, and if I rendered at this point, you would see that it's going to be opaque, and I want to apply a texture to it. So I'm going to change to the render tab of the object input palette, and then in the list of textures I'm going to choose glass, clear glass, and then now when I render you'll be able to see through there. I just use a shortcut Command Shift G for OpenGL, so you can see now that it's a clear glass, and I've got a different effect on it because of the texture. So this is coming together very nicely. I'm just going to do a little bit of house cleaning here, give some color to some of these. I'm going to select a dark sort of a linen color, in my mind a linen color, and then I'm going to select the kick and give that a black so that the scuffs don't show, and then I'm going to give a lighter brown color for the millwork or the cabinet. And now to pass on that same color, I'm going to use the well, first I'm going to make the light box. So I'm going to go back to the top plan, and I'm going to make another rectangle by double clicking, same size, left and height and width, and position at next click is unchecked. And now I'm going to create the extrude for that. It's only 6 inches tall. So, but because all work always comes in at the ground plane, I'm going to just flip this up so you can see it's sitting on the ground plane. I'm going to have to raise it up according to to my schematic down here. It has to be raised to 6 feet 0. So I'm going to use the move command, modify move 3D, and it's going to be 6 feet 6. I'm just going to highlight that in a Z value, typing 6, click OK, and there's my piece. And I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to suck up the attributes of this bottom piece after I render it so you can see, and then I'm going to put them down with the paint bucket, holding the option key while I click on it to apply the attributes. So the eyedropper tool is a great way if you forget what color to use. You just grab it with one mode and pull it in with the other mode. And I'll show that a little bit later in class. But this is basically the vitrine and the rest of the cabinet. It's reasonable. But now what I want to do is go to the get the artwork. And I want to show a new feature in the artwork. I'm going to start up Safari here and go to Google. And in Google, I'm going to look for some artwork. Indian artifact is what I'm going to be typing. And I'm going to use the images, search for images, and I'm looking for an image where the background has been made into one color. So it's been processed in Vectorworks. I'm going to use the full-size image in Google so that I can get a high definition image. I'm going to drag that off into the desktop. It's a GIF file, which is going to be one of the versions, one of the types of objects that Vectorworks can use. I'm going to quit Safari now, and I'm going to go back to Vectorworks and import that as an image prop. So I'm going to choose Model, Create Image Prop, and Image Prop is starts with an image, and I'm going to use this artifact here, and I'm going to use that background. This is the image prop dialog box. I'm going to type a height of 2 feet 2. And I'm going to ask Vectorworks to use the mask of that black object, the black background. So I'm going to reuse this image from the props color. So the color is going to come from the same image as the object, and the transparent color is that I'm defining. I'm defining a transparent color here, and the color that's transparent that I want Vectorworks to shine through is the black. So I'm going to click. It thinks it's white right now. I'm going to click on the black area of the image so I can see that it's black now. There's a certain amount of fiddling you can do here, but usually Vectorworks makes a pretty good call for the contrast and the tolerance. You can see that I just don't really usually bother with this. I just accept the defaults because Vectorworks is pretty good at doing this, at picking a default. You can always come back and adjust it later. Now I'm going to hold off on cross planes for this object. For plants, cross planes is good. Constant reflectivity is good because it takes the light from the picture and create a plug-in object, so I can take advantage of this auto rotate to viewer command. That lets me see the object straight on whenever I rotate in Vectorworks. So Vectorworks creates the image prop. It's essentially a placard or a 3D polygon, flat 3D polygon. It's brought in at the center. It's one of the reasons why I started at the origin in this case. And you can see that it's the center of the drawing at 0, 0. That flat 3D polygon is actually resting on the ground right now. I'm going to raise it up to the same height as the top using the Move 3D command. I'm going to raise it up to the top of the riser. I think it's 3'6" or so, and 3'11", I guess. And now you can see that the placard is in there. All I have to do now is render. I'm going to use the tea kettle icon in the view bar to render that. And we should be able to see this with a flyover, and the flyover gives us a pretty good representation of that object. So any object that you can use will be that you can find on the web with that background, that specially processed background, will work. So that's about it.